Hello all, welcome back to Shaving with Pegleg. I appreciate you being here. Thank you for joining us if it's your first time. And today we're going to shave the head, do some trimming. I'm not going to shave the beard until March 1st. Let's see if I can grow one. I don't know, I might keep it. I don't think so, but we're going to try. You can see it's coming a little better. It's only got 2 weeks going. I'm not trimming this anymore. I'm going to let this grow too. And today we're using Wet the Face Arthur Shelby's Bushmills. This soap is soft and aromatic as anything you ever want to smell. It's very, very soft. Good soap. Great soap. Don makes good soaps. This is soap that if you, and we have the splash for it too. If you use this and get pulled over driving shortly after using this, you're going to do a sobriety test. It's potent. The brush today needs a new knot. It needs a new one, but we're not going to do that. I like the classic look, unlike that. I can't tighten that. Why is my camera doing this all of a sudden? Okay, we're gonna always problem with the camera, always. Well, actually it's a phone this time because the camera still doesn't. It'll turn on for 2-3 seconds and turn off. I'm starting to think it needs it says it's fully charged, but I'm thinking it needs a new battery. And we've got our, I think this is Main Street and 46th cast iron bowl. I'll have it all in the description. This sucker is heavy. And we put soap in, we spread it around, we added a little water. And now I'm just taking the wet brush. I gotta go cook dinner after this. I hope I'm sober enough to do it. This is a great scent. This bowl is warm on the bottom. Of course, I had it on my coffee mug heater. I put it on there for about a half hour before I put soap in it, and then I took a shower, and now we're adding a little water to it. I'm gonna have way more soap than I need. Hope you enjoyed my last video, the pit shave. You're not going to see many videos of guys shaving their pits online. But I just did it to see if the ladies would actually use it, and if it worked, and it did. Blade was a little off angle, but it still worked. Still neat to take a little itty bitty off the end cap on one side so it'll fit right. It's just a little, so that's what's knocking it off, out of alignment. I mean, look at this, guys. This is wow. I was trying to decide what soap to use, and this one jumped at me. I was looking at all the soaps, and they're just, and then I saw this one, and it was like, jumped in my face. You guys get that too? You don't know what soap you're going to use, and you start looking at the soaps, and all of a sudden one just jumps at you and says, use me. Look at this. This is fantastic. I know we haven't discussed the razor. Could use that brush a little too short for that bowl, and it just slid down to the bottom. The handle's all soap now, but we'll get to it. A razor I have not used in a while, and I actually love this razor. The Rolls razor. It's got the leather strap on one side and a sharpening stone on the other for the lid. I ran it across this 20 times each direction, and then I ran it across the strap 100 times, 50 each direction, I should say. So we'll see how it goes. It should be sharp enough. This is heavy. It's nice. Made by the Rolls Razor Company in London, England. Yeah, it's basically a straight razor with a safety guard. And it goes together. This handle goes in the case. You unscrew the bottom part. It's got a little, there's a little ball bearing in there. Or see, it's the tip of that, I think it is. Let's see, which is it? Yeah, it's the tip of this. The handle screws in. The blade. See how that's shaped? It goes right over the end. And then you just center it over the hole that's used to hold it in the holder to sharpen it. And then you tighten this, and that little tab comes up, pushes it up against this piece, and she's nice and tight. Give it a nice turn, and we're gonna go. Let's start on the base. Neck, we're just gonna trim. Oh, I gotta do in there. Oh, all right. So, like I said, the brush slid in the soap. We're just going to do a little paint here, a little paint there. Oh, there. Yeah, and this is a boar brush. It's an Ever Ready 500. I'm not sure when they were made. You can find all kinds of information on razors and whatnot. Try and find information on brushes. The Rolls was made from early 1900s to 1958 when it was bought by, I think his name was Boom or Bloom, and he decided to take it and do washing machines. The thing I like about this is you can tell if it's clean, if there's any hairs. I'm sure some of you, most of you, have pulled apart a double edge and there's a glob of hair stuck underneath the blade. And you're like, well, that's why I wasn't getting a great shave. Not so with this. Not so with this. I went down a little farther on that side than I did on this side. That's the problem with trying to keep it lined up. I wasn't, to tell you the truth, I wasn't thinking about it. I was going to just go shave the whole thing. Let's do this. Let's make our line. And then we'll take this off. What do you say? Straight edge, a straight razor on a stick. Basically what the Rolls is. If you're a collector and you don't have one, I recommend getting one. Or even if you just like shaving. with a good razor, because these are very good. Like I said, it's a straight on a stick. It's a straight with a handle. It's very good. Just checking my alignment. It's okay. I might let this grow up a little bit more again. I think it's too low. I went too far down on this side. It happens. It happens. Especially when you're yakking and not thinking about what you're doing. Oh, the soap is slick. And the scent is flipping. Don nailed it with that one. He absolutely nailed that one. I'm trying to think of how many bourbon or alcohol scented soaps I have. I think the only other one I have is PAA's chocolate bourbon. And I get more chocolate out of that one than I do bourbon. And I keep going back too far and taking these off too. That's all right. Those will grow in. Now this Rolls razor I have, they had different monikers for them. This one is called the Imperial. This is the wetter insignia, and this is the Greek key pattern design on them. And this is post 1930. Pre 1930, they didn't have this key pattern on the lids, but it's on both sides. So and those are very hard to find. So if you find one like that sitting around in an antique shop for a reasonable price, pick it up, because those are very, very rare. That one's post 1930. Can you hear that? This thing's pretty sharp. Okay, I think we're done on the face. So we'll move on to the head. Throw that in there. Actually, This up here is good. I'm going to do some touch up on the neck, actually. Actually, it's a little dry. So we're gonna just wet it. And the slickness came right back. See that? Very slick soap. And all you northerners, you guys in the North United States, I want to thank you for sending us your weather for a week to remind us why the hell we moved down here. That was the other morning. I went out at 7 o'clock in the morning. I went out on my porch, 38 degrees in Florida. And I know North Florida saw a lot of snow, a lot more than I think they've ever had. Tell you guys up north, you can keep that shit. We do not want it. So, thanks for the loan, but no thanks. You keep it. I'm glad it wasn't raining in 38. It's like shit drops 6 more degrees, that shit could freeze. I didn't finish. I'm out of sorts. HomeLike Shave alum stick. We'll do this. Shouldn't be anything. No, nothing. That's the thing about that too. It's very, very smooth on the skin. I get a little tingling up here because it's very sensitive up here under your nose. But other than that, there's nothing. All right. Time to get back to baldness. Guys, I have been thinking about something lately. Don't know if it'll come to fruition, but it's something I've been thinking about and thinking about and thinking about. Even though I have no legs below the knee, I've still been thinking about it. And I've come up with a solution for it. My son won't be too happy, my oldest. He'll have a chance to work on a car again too. I want to build a car. I haven't built a car in forever. I haven't built a car in over, well, about 30 years now. But I want to get a classic. I don't want to go 50s. And I don't want to go 70s. 1970 would be the last year I would buy. I want to go from 64 to 70. I've got a 6-year range that I want to buy and build. I don't mean to build it to be the fastest thing on the street, because obviously I have to drive with one hand because I need hand controls on it. Because I can't go stick, I've got to go automatic transmission. Now, my wife, her favorite car, she's always wanted. I don't know if you can see this. I really can't look you in the eyes using this thing on my head. Sorry. Or look at the screen, I should say. My wife's favorite car is a 64 GTO. Now, I wouldn't mind a 64 GTO, because that was actually the first year of the GTO. But they're really expensive. And I personally, I like the looks of the 67 better. Which, there's more 67s out there, and they're not as expensive as a 64. So that would be easier to acquire. When I originally started with this thought, I was thinking, I don't want to do the classic, a Mustang or Camaro, or, you know, that everybody wants to do. I don't. I've had a Mustang. Well, mine was an 82, but with a built 89 motor in it. It kicked ass. No, I didn't use a fuel injection from the 89. I put a freaking carburetor on it like it's supposed to have. I was thinking something along the lines of a 69 or 70 Torino, or a 66 or 67 or 68 Ford Fairlane. A little bit bigger, easier for me to get in and out of type car. GTO is too. Get my fat ass in and out easier. I would even go as far as getting a 64, or is it 63 Tempest, Pontiac Tempest, which is what the GTO is based on. I was also considering doing like a 68 Ranchero, Ford Ranchero, because that would hold a 460. And yeah, cubic inches rule. The only problem with doing a Ranchero is, like over El Camino, the Chevy El Camino, is I think the Ranchero, I haven't looked at the specs, but when you look at the Ranchero, you're like, that thing's like 3 feet longer than an El Camino, because the hoods on them are so, it's like looking into another zip code. But that's what makes the engine bay capable of holding a 460. Another problem, I was looking at junkyards online, is finding a motor anymore. Everybody has seemed to gobble them up, or they put them in the smelter. One of the two. You can get like 73, 74s, 460s and stuff, but you can't get like a 70. You can get a 429. You want to pay $1,000 for blocking heads. No guarantee it was in running shape, which I don't care. I'm going to totally rebuild the motor anyways. Yeah, my biggest concern is just, it's not so much cost. Cost is a concern, yes. It's my ability to do so anymore. There's a lot I could do, but there's a lot I can't do. And my son's a 2-hour drive away, and I'm sure he's not going to want to come up here every day on his day off. He's got things he needs to do too. So then I started thinking, what if you just buy one that's in original shape, running, maybe do a few cheaper power add-ons that I could actually do easily. So that's an option. We're all in the planning stages here, but I'd really like to do another car before I die or get too old that I really can't do it. Because of all the things I'd like to do, that's the most feasible. Because with these legs, I know guys do it all the time, but I don't have the coordination, the balance, and I'm too flippin' fat to go marching in the woods to do another boar hunt. And then when you don't have legs below the knee, you lose your calves, which is where you get your walking pivot. You know, that's your calves. That's what motivates you. That's what moves you along. And I wouldn't be able to, I'd have to shoot like anywhere from a 70 to 100-pound hog so I could get it out of there, so I could dress it and butcher it. Lots of things I could do, but I just would really like to build another car. I think this video is getting too long. I don't know what time it is. Yeah, we're almost at 30 minutes, so I'm going to wrap this up. Sorry, didn't mean to go long. The preacher that married my wife and I at the church up on the corner has a yellow and black Belvedere. 63 or 64. Might be later than that. 2-door. 2-door. And he's got it built up a little bit. It's nothing crazy. This is doing a damn good job on my head. It's taking a little while because I'm trying to go slow and careful with it. But it's actually doing a good job. Alright guys, I'm going to wrap this up. If I need touch up, I'll do it later. I got to go make dinner anyways. I got the back of my neck. The channel that runs through the back of my neck is clean. That's the main thing. So I don't have to hear her say, it looks like you got a line of dirt on the back of your head. Always the critique, aren't they? See? Straight edge on a stick, no red. It works very well. Just gonna hit it with some alum. Nothing. Not a sting, not a tingle, nothing. So that's all good. All right. My friends, we'll hit it with some Dickinson's Witch Hazel. I know this is running long, I'm sorry. I just got the yakking. And plus, like I said, I'm trying to go easy with that razor because it is a straight edge on a stick. Aftershave. Give it a shake. That should be enough. Dudes. Nivea, maximum hydration. As I always say, guys, if you're shaving, even if you're doing a one-pass quickie with a cartridge, use this because the shave soap takes all the oils out of your skin and will dry your skin out. And by the time you're 50, 60 years old, you're going to look like you're 70, 75, 80. Use this. Keep your skin, I don't care what brand you use, what you use. And we're going to add a little bit of this since that really has no scent. Rub them together. Oh. Yeah, I'm going to go cook drunk. I'm going to go cook dinner drunk. All right, guys. I'm going to let you go because this went way long. It's good to be back. Y'all take care out there. Y'all have fun. And enough of the babbling fat guy in the camera. You're in the chair next. Happy shaves out there, guys.